Let's check out that tape real quick on close here. Microsoft's definitely out. Okay. Microsoft 76.4 and 365. Street was at 337. 76.4. Wow! 3 billion ahead of consensus. That's a beat of 18%. 17% constant currency. Remarkable. Are they doing the suspenseful guidance on the call? I used to love that. Back when I worked for Kramer, it was like, and now our earnings guidance. And you're just like, oh. And we're like sitting there like this. We're like, we project Q4 earnings of $1.86 to $1.96. We're like, stop. It was so awesome. Okay, the guidance should be in here. Let's take a look. It's not in here. Meta 47 versus 44. Jesus Christ. How? How, Sway?
Oh, how, Sway?
What's the Meta revenue? They're always a little conservative on revenue. 47 to 55 is a serious raise, though. Microsoft and Meta just knocking it out of the park. We do a strong quarter again for Facebook. Once again, I'm the man. Meta up 7%. Microsoft up 6%. AI is finally benefiting Reels, and Reels is taking over. Full Bull is back on the menu. I'm not happy. Gotta call a spade a spade. These numbers are out of control. I mean, these stocks are gonna be up more, I think. Meta might be up 10%. That's really unexpected. Can't believe this number. So Meta, 22% revenue growth. Oof. Unbelievable R&D spend. Somebody took Zuck's offer. Somebody took Zuck's $1 billion offer. So he's doing this. Oh man, I gotta glaze Zuck. Record operating income while spending $3 billion extra on R&D, which that's that Shkreli he's putting out for the researchers, those OpenAI researchers, trying to buy people off with $1 billion. Just throwing money left and right. This is Zuck to OpenAI employees. Yeah, Zuck's kind of the GOAT. I agree. Oh, I'm kind of the GOAT. All of you idiots thinking I'm not the GOAT, you're wrong. I am him. Himothy. They say give him the Zuck. I don't know what they mean when they say that. What do they mean? Give him the Zuck. Huh? Yeah, remarkable performance. It's amazing that Meta Reality Lab's still struggling. Although, look, I mean, it's a $2 billion business. It ain't nothing. It's a loss-making business, obviously, but still a $2 billion business. Okay, so we're waiting for Microsoft guidance. Transmedics is out. Beat. How'd Lamb do? Big numbers from Lamb. Probably selling into Nvidia or something. I don't know where Sarepta's gonna go. 30, 50, that range. Oh, Tidmarsh is acting Superhead. That's nice. Beat and raise. Beat and raise. That's what we do at Meta. High five to CFO. You did great. What a good quarter. We killed it. Robinhood earnings? Carvana? Oh man, killing shorts. I never understood shorting this thing. Oh, this is gonna drop. That's not a big enough beat. Carvana swings a lot. Tempted to short that. No, I'm not short Solace. I gotta get back into that trade. Are they gonna report their data ever? Next year? Does Carvana give guidance? I didn't think they gave guidance. Robinhood hanging in there. Did Meta give CapEx guidance? Yeah, Nvidia getting close to 200. I wish I had time to look at every stock. I would, if I could. Earnings season, you're usually too busy to look at all of them anyway. Yeah, we're gonna listen to Meta, of course, naturally. Oh, Meta didn't raise their spending guidance? see what Meta says. Carvana, a lot of people think is a fraud. The shorts think it's a fraud. There's no obvious, I don't know. Don't think there's obvious reason to think that, but that's been the story forever. You know, it had this like amazing comeback. Gilbert Arenas charged an illegal poker ring in the SoCal mansion. Man, let people play poker. Jesus Christ. Okay, they did raise. Okay, they raised the bottom end. I see. How about Microsoft? That is the issue. Related party transactions. It works until it doesn't. Yeah, big number for Meta's Q3. They're usually quite conservative. But they missed guidance before. That was 2 years ago when we bought it. Oh, they did 10 billion of buybacks. Wow. Go back to Microsoft at 5:30, but Meta starts at 5 usually. I don't know. When does IonQ and Qubits report? Next week? It's going to be very easy. Well, Zuck put out some kind of essay. All right, let's read Zuck's essay. I guess I can read it in his voice. Is that okay?
Personal superintelligence. Over the last few months, we have begun to see glimpses of our AI systems. Hold on. Over the last few months, we have begun to see glimpses of our AI systems slowly improving themselves. The improvement is slow for now, but undeniable. Developing superintelligence is now in sight. It seems clear that in the coming years, AI will improve all our existing systems and enable the creation and discovery of new things that aren't imaginable today. But it is an open question what we will direct superintelligence towards. In some ways, this will be a new era for humanity. But in others, it's just a continuation of historical trends. As recently as 200 years ago, 90% of people were farmers, growing food to survive. Advances in technology have steadily freed much of humanity to focus less on subsistence and more on the pursuits we choose. At each step, people have used our newfound productivity to achieve more than was previously possible, pushing the frontiers of science and health, as well as expanding more time on creativity, culture, relationships, and enjoying life. I'm totally not a robot. I'm extremely optimistic that superintelligence will help humanity accelerate our pace of progress. But perhaps even more important is that superintelligence has the potential to begin a new era of personal empowerment, where people will have greater agency to improve the world in the directions they choose. As profound as the abundance produced by AI may one day be, as an even more meaningful impact on our lives will likely come from everyone having a personal superintelligence that helps you achieve your goals, create what you want to see in the world, experience any adventure, be a better friend to those that you care about, grow to become the person you aspire to be, and pay meta platforms as much money as possible. This is distinct from others in the industry who believe superintelligence should be directed centrally towards automating all valuable work, and then humanity will live on a dole of its output. At Meta, we believe that people pursuing their individual aspirations is how we always made progress, expanding prosperity, science, health, and culture. This will be increasingly important in the future as well. The intersection of technology is how people live in Meta's focus, and this will only become more important in the future. If trends continue, then you'd expect people to spend less time in productivity software and more time creating and connecting. It's very important that they connect on Meta. Personal superintelligence that knows us deeply, understands our goals, and can help us achieve them will be by far the most useful. Personal devices like glasses, I really like these glasses, you guys, that understand our context because they can see what we can see, hear what we can hear, and I can hear what you can hear as well, and interact with us throughout the day will become our primary computing devices. We believe the benefits of superintelligence should be shared with the world as broadly as possible. That said, superintelligence will raise novel safety concerns. We'll need to be rigorous about mitigating these risks and careful about what we choose to open source. Still, what we believe that building a free society requires that we aim to empower people as much as possible. The rest of this decade seems likely to be the decisive period of determining the path that technology will take, and whether superintelligence will be a tool for personal empowerment or a force focused on replacing large swaths of society. Meta believes strongly in building personal superintelligence that empowers everyone. We have the resources and the expertise to build the massive infrastructure required and the capability and will to deliver new technology to billions of people across our products. I'm excited to focus Meta's efforts towards building this future. Mark. I mean, it's so bullish for Nvidia.
Tess, you're not, I don't understand what's so hard to answer the question. It's so weird that you can't answer this question. Nobody's asking you about what you're going to do. What I'm asking you, and let me just write it on the screen so you can see it, because it's like very weird that you can't answer this question. It's a very easy question. What would you think? I've debated her. I like her. What would you think if D-Wave either says no or doesn't get back to you? Because that's what they did to me, and that's what they did to my friend. I know you think you have a special connection with the company. My friend thought that too. They gave my friend the runaround. My friend thought he was like this with them. My friend has money in the company. A lot money, a lot more than you. And he said, can I get a login to try it out? But it's not that hard to imagine, okay, if they don't give you access, what would you think? I'll give you an example. If I went to my partner, okay, and I said, honey, what do you think of this shirt I'm wearing? If she said, I think it's lovely, I would say, okay, I make an inference. It's a hypothetical. I'd say, oh, she must either think it's lovely or she's just being nice to me. And then if I went to her and she looked at it and she said, she did this face, she goes, oh, honey, you look great. Well, my inference then is, well, she probably thinks that it doesn't look great, but she's just being nice to me, right? So now I want you to put yourself in the same situation and say, if I went to D-Wave, which you did, you wrote, you made an email, and they never respond to you, what inference would you have? Would you say it must be an accident? Or would you say maybe they won't let everybody try their computer? Okay, I got you. What I'm asking you to do is, again, put yourself, theory of mind, into somebody else's head or into another situation that you don't think is going to happen. And whatever you said to them, okay? Whatever you did, as you can see on my screen, whatever you did, they said, no, we will not be giving you an account. You cannot be a customer of D-Wave. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm not even saying there's a 1% chance that's going to happen. But what I'm saying is, if that happened, what would you feel? How would you feel about that? If they said no, I'm not asking you if they said no, will you try again? I'm not asking you if they said no or didn't respond to you. I'm asking you, what would you do if they basically for 3 months ignored you? We don't have access though, because you and I cannot use it right now. There's no email, right? There's no password to launch the machine. We're pending. I mean, do you think that would be a red flag, or okay, so what does that mean though? You would have issues. What would the issues be? How would you feel? Because there's a lot of ways to interpret it, by the way. You don't have to necessarily interpret that as bearish. For example, a very reasonable way to interpret it would be they only want Fortune 500 companies. Totally reasonable, right? Google doesn't have their computer online. You can't use Google's Willow, right? Totally reasonable. Or you could infer that, isn't that weird? Why would they not want a client? Their revenue is so low. You would think they want more clients, right? You could look at it either way. I'm not saying it's bullish or bearish. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it. That's research. But I'm asking you very direct questions and you keep going in different directions. I'm just trying to answer the one question, which is what would it make you feel and why? Because to me, it's a publicly traded company, right? I would think they want more revenue. You can ignore all the other people chatting, leave them alone. The question is, would you think it's weird if they didn't want a new client? Well, what if they tell you we just want big clients? I mean, we appreciate the investor-investee relationship we have, but quite frankly, Ms. Tess, I mean, you're not going to be a big client of ours. I know you might want to try it out, but are you really going to pay D-Wave $100,000? Don't you think that that's a reasonable answer? If the CEO, well, yeah, again, you're getting impatient, but I'm sort of asking you a different question now. Because it doesn't have to be a red flag. They just might say, it's no offense to you. Yeah, the question is, why is it a red flag to you? Because they could easily just say, yeah, listen, no offense, you're an investor. We don't know how much stock you own. We don't really care. What we're looking for is we want Boeing to use our product. We want PayPal to use our product. We want MasterCard to use our product. We want Visa to use our product, right? I don't need investors to use the product. I mean, realistically, you're not going to use it. I mean, isn't that a good answer? Well, it's not so much that they, okay, I see. So you do know somebody that's using it, but they're not a big player. So the fact that he got access kind of means that they should give anybody access. So it would be weird if they don't give access out. To me, I mean, I'm not sure I would give any kind of access to just investors. I would say, listen, unless you are going to be $100,000 customer, why in the world would you want access to my machine? It wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, I can't find the Canadian. I could try that again, the Canadian person. Yeah, but they could still say, I mean, ma'am, you know, how much do you want to spend on our product? Do you use a lot of cloud products like this? Are you really going to spend millions? Why should we waste our time with you? Now, again, IonQ gives you access, no questions asked. AWS, IBM, everybody else. So it's a little strange that you have to go through this whole song and dance. And like I said, my buddy tried, and he's friends with the company's CEO, and they still won't do it. If I had to bet, and I'm not saying this to hurt anybody's feelings or anything, but if I had to bet in 30 days whether or not you would have access, I would say in 30 days you would not have access. But I'm not going to bet my kidney. I would bet 10 push-ups, maybe $100, but I will bet my kidney that D-Wave will not be a successful company long-term. I can deliver, Kev, barely. Leonard, I think you're right, Leonard. Very few companies want fewer customers or less customers. It doesn't make any sense. Companies spend millions trying to get customers in the funnel. It's very weird that they stop you from using the product. They put a barrier between you and paying them, which is very odd. I mean, there's nothing that I would bet that quantum companies will not do well in the long run. I would bet anything. None of these companies will amount to anything. I will bet the gender, kidney, you name it. That's an easy bet. I'd love to talk to the person at Airbus that uses them. Okay, here's their last quarterly thing. I believe they gave a customer number out. Here it is. Total of 133 customers. 69 commercial customers. 52 research, 12 government. Only 25 of the customers are Forbes 2000 customers, whatever that means. They're not paying too much money if the revenue is so low. I mean, that's like $10,000 a customer, I mean. But yeah, I'm curious about the Canadian lady, Canadian grocery. Save on Foods, that's them.
Find in a regular grocery store. We're a full service grocery store.
I will replace D-Wave for any D-Wave customer for free at 90% off. My work I do for free. The computer that will replace D-Wave, you know what? I'll put up the money as well. And I will show anybody, including these guys, that you do not need D-Wave. It's all a scam. It's just that these guys don't know. They don't know any better. Oh, he left. He left. He's not at Save On Foods anymore. This is a publicly traded company too. Any laptop can do this. They used to do it with pen and paper, so they skipped to D-Wave, but D-Wave didn't tell them. You actually don't need D-Wave. Where's their headquarters? Montreal? Ah, here we go. Give this a shot.
GI. To reach a CGI member, please dial